Alrighty, we are back with part 2. If you missed part 1, go back just for fun. You would definitely want to go catch part 1 of the Robbins Cup exposure video. Again, my feelings on the whole Robbins Cup here today. Again, it's kind of sad. You know, I really like Joel Robbins. I like the people over there. I think, you know, they're nice people. Again, I got to say this. Like, you know, I'm not villainizing any of these individuals. I think that, you know, good people can do bad things, bad people can do good things. You know, there's just things that that are troublesome that need to be done. Again, my whole point and purpose of coming out here and exposing the stuff about the Robbins is for you to question, to know the truth, and, you know, make sure you understand fully this type of stuff, because a lot of times it's just not there. All right, so let's get to the truth here today. Don't forget, in our last video, we were covering the list, right? I call it the list. All right, so over on the list, we got all these things: the team trading allowed, only top fives, the bad margins, the bad commissions, no official start and end, Larry Williams BS, and we're going to talk about the ICT stuff here. I am going to now call this the proof video. So now the things that I've already said, and now again, I showed some proofs before, but getting to the audio calls, I'm going to show you guys at length the audio calls, conversations from the president of the Robbins Cup, from his words. And you guys can hear it straight from the horse's mouth about a lot of the things that we talked about. We're going to be bringing in the stuff about Larry Williams, my speculations and theories around the Larry Williams 1987. In my opinion, I think they were very misleading results, if anything. But we'll talk about all that here today. Stay tuned. It's going to be a big one. Let's go. All right, so I have multiple hours of phone conversations with Larry Williams. I've taken a lot of notes with timestamps on these, so we'll be cutting some of these out. But context-wise, again, Joel Robbins and I have had, you know, back and forth conversations and things just along the years, just short things, you know, talking about, you know, was I going to join into the Robbins and things. And I kind of blew this off a while. I really didn't know anything specifically about it. In fact, I think the first times I had kind of heard about the Robbins, honestly, was probably after ICT started talking about it. And I was like, that's really weird. Why does he keep talking about this thing? Why does he keep... Of course, then I, you know, as you know me, I am the market historian and I dig into details. And these scammers, they have so many ways of hiding things. And then I come to find out, very sadly, after speaking with Joel Robbins, again, nice guy. I think they're trying to do the best things that are out there. You know, they're just trying to get by like everybody does. But, I mean, you got to know the truth and the facts, especially when I'm being pushed into trying to do a stupid competition like this. I've done 4 trading competitions, again, won them all, and yet ICT continues to claim he's the best and yet has no track records. Where's his track record? I mean, I got that question. Where's the track record? I got another question, ICT, to you while we're here. Look, you say you're moving to a new house, okay? Now all of a sudden you're going to go buy a big house. Supposedly, again, I'll believe it when I see it. But you claim that you are downsizing. Why would you go back up and go to a big house? Again, you maybe come explain it, okay? You claim that it's because you think that you want to just buy a bigger house than me. I think that's kind of a pathetic reason to go and do something like that. But hey, more power to you. Everybody can do what they want to do. But let's do it like this, ICT. You claim that you downsize, which is lies. It's a 100% lie. And the thing is if it's true, bro, I will fucking delete my YouTube channel. All you got to do is go show proof of your old place. Show your proof of the old house. There it is, folks. There it is. Where is the proof of your old house? If you say that this is a downsize to this, you know, little small place you're living in Maryland, okay, and that you're just trying to live amongst the common people, and yet you're driving around a flashy yellow car that's cheap, but it's flashy and yellow, let's be honest, to get attention, right? And you're flipping Corvettes for a living. Let's see the house, all right? Let's just pony it up. Show the house. Show the old address. Again, because you're not living there anymore. There's no security risk, whatever. Show the old house. Show it to us. Show pictures. You keep showing us pictures of yourself. Oh, look at me here, guys, when I was emaciated and I lost a bunch of weight because I was so scared of 9/11 and all the stuff you're running around. You're running your mouth last night. I'm having to listen to this garbage once again to your, you know, podcasts. And you're talking about, I'm going to show pictures of myself. No, we don't want to see pictures of your face. We want to see a picture of your skinny ass or your fat ass. I mean, both. Like, you're disgusting, okay? I've seen the private investigator footage, right? Yeah, you need to go on a diet. Good, bro. I'm glad that, you know, I've put enough pressure on you. You're hitting the gym again. Good. Good for your health. Good for your health. But we're not interested in that. Show the pictures of the house. Folks, y'all get with me on this. Go push it to him. Be like, ICT, okay, show your old house. You claim that you lived in some big place and you had some big cars. Dude, prove it. Show the pictures with you in it, not just somebody else's stuff. No. 100% undeniable proof. Send us an address. We'll check it out. We'll see whose name was on the title. And of course, you're like, I bought it under LLCs. Dude, I don't want to hear that crap. Fine, we'll investigate it. Whatever it is, bro. You just need to back up your claims. That's the whole point. All right, so back to the Robbins here. But I did mention that from, want to mention that from last night when you're going off on your podcast thing. You know what? Thought about it. Show the pictures of the old house. Prove me wrong. Tell everybody that I'm lying about you. Again, if I'm lying about you, bro, I'll apologize. I can hear all, but I have not told a single lie about you, except for the one about, well, you know, the girl thing. And I'm not going to talk about that again. And I already told it to you. All right. Out of everything I've said, I did one thing to troll you to see how you'd respond, and you did. You did exactly what I said. You would avoid everything else, and you pinpointed in on the girl thing. Exactly. Again, it was a chess, it was a pawn move, and that was the one pawn move I lied about. Nope, number 2, and the Corvettes. I knew you owned the Corvettes. I pretended to not know about the Corvettes parked in there that you were flipping cars because I wanted you to go out there and drive them around. That was a hilariously awesome pawn play to you. I moved the pawn, and you dance. All right, let's go. First one on our list was talking about the multiple accounts, I believe. Is that correct? Yes, team trading. All right, so team trading, top of the list. We wanted to talk about team trading, right? Team trading allowed. So I told you guys this. Now let's see the proof. Let's go. All right, so would the Robbins Cup allow you to trade multiple accounts? Yes, in the fine print. This is from their website. It may open more than one account. There it is. Getting champion or at any time. Again, you do not even have to begin at any time. You can start up multiple accounts. You can, you know, blow out an account, come back, do it again. YOLO trade. Again, YOLO trade means you only live once. So basically, try to swing for the fences until you smash one out, right? Each account must be separately funded. Oh, and by the way, another thing that I didn't even mention before was that there's no performance report. You don't see the P&L. You don't see the drawdown. You don't see how far things. Again, this is just, again, a very blindfolded competition, and this is why it's not legit in my opinion. Each account must be separately funded in margin. Who cares? The same account application may be used to establish multiple accounts at an authorized broker. Only the best performing account will be used for ranking purposes, aka we'll just show the winner. Okay, this is why winner chicken dinner, why ICT does it. Okay, this is from their website. Now let's hear Joel Robbins. So I wanted to clarify. I'm like, hold on, Joel, I mean, this can't be right. Joel, you tell me that I'm reading this wrong. There's something that I'm missing, right? So let's hear it. This is my conversation with Joel Robbins. Let's go. All right, without further ado, I've got this queued up. And again, these are these are pretty long conversations back and forth with Joel. Just going to play parts of this. You can actually see this one, this clip. This is the 36-minute long. Hold on, let me change screen here. One sec. All right, there you go. You guys can see this. So again, this is all the stuff that I record. So I record all of our phone calls with people that are calling into my lines. Again, because you just cannot trust scammers. You can't trust anybody in this industry. It's all fraud, and they say stuff and they think they'll get away with it. It's how we busted Day Trader Paradise. How we busted Adam Webb. Again, everybody says they think they're saying stuff that I don't know. I'm gonna say off the record, but they think they can just say things behind closed doors and that it's not going to get out. Scripture says that all the things that were said in darkness will be brought to light. Well, let's bring some light on this. Here we go.
Oh, okay. So as far as in the championship thing, so if I'm doing the championship thing, can I run multiple strategies to have multiple accounts in the championship? Like if so let's say that like we end up getting this thing going and March you open up this quarterly one. Can I run multiples, and is it still going to be you're only showing the top 5 results? You're not showing, like, if I'm running, I don't know, if I'm running, let's say that I'm running 3 accounts, I'm running one on NASDAQ, one on RTY, one on YM. If NQ and RTY aren't hitting me up on the 5%, but on my ES, like I'm up there on the leaderboards, it's not going to show my other ones on there, correct?
Yeah, we only show the, well, right now we only show the top 5.
Okay.
And as far
Now, he said, right now, we only show top 5. Did y'all hear? I made sure to absolutely clarify that basically I could bork out my other accounts. I can run multiple accounts, but you're only going to show the one. Now, I don't know why he said right now we only show, which, listen, Joel, if you're listening, I think that, yes, you should showcase that, well, you know, these other people did. Show how bad the other people are doing somewhere. I don't know, like maybe sure, show top 5. It'd be like, you want to see, click a button that says you want to see all results, click here to see all results. I don't know. I'm just making some suggestions, but I think that it's kind of bullshit personally that people can get away with this again. And I'm not saying that I would want to do that. I don't want to do that, but I'm not going to get into a competition where I'm dealing with an ICT character who literally lies and cheats in everything he's ever done in life, because he just thinks, listen, here's one of ICT's philosophies. Y'all heard him go off on scriptural stuff last night, and he apparently, you know, he studies the Bible a little bit, okay, probably not as much as I have, I'm just be honest. But, you know, inside of what he's been saying to you guys on the Bible front, you know, a lot of it is totally legit. And but one of the things that he mentioned there, one of his sons actually brought up to me, his kids and his family and his household have apparently at some point, or at least this son had said that his dad believes in the philosophy that comes from scripture that says that all sin is forgivable, okay, except for one: blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Okay. Now there's a whole long background behind that. There's the name of, you know, his son that had used a screen name, particularly screen name inside of his backend system and whatnot. But he had been taught, and he teaches it in his household, that you can tell any lie. Doesn't matter what you tell. You can always be forgiven of everything except for blasphemy, which is why this is the moral compass that ICT runs around with. He uses, you know, the Bible for good and for evil, which again, like I said, there's a mixed bag of individuals. The most dangerous people are the ones who use the mix, okay? But he believes that he can be forgiven of all his sins. Sure, he absolutely can. Does that make it right? So here it is. I'm just here to help those who are seeking the truth to know those truths. But this is why ICT believes that he can lie, he can defraud people, he can do all this stuff, because there's only one unforgivable sin, which I think is just crazy. I mean, when I heard him say it out loud, you know, even Paul in the Bible talks about specifically, you know, can I therefore do anything that I want because I can get ultimate forgiveness? He says, surely not. In scripture, he says, surely and certainly not. Now, mind you, that's Paul's words, but yes, ICT, you can be forgiven for all these sins that you're committing out here, but I personally don't believe that you should be getting away with it. That's my feeling on it. Okay, so sorry, tangents again, but you know, ICT is dragging me into this competition, and I have just proven once again, specifically even from Joel Robbins, president, that he has said that yes, you can do these things. Now, mind you, let me give a little more background here. Why do you think that he would be willing to have this conversation with me? Okay, so I'll just tell you, truth and transparency. When I went and just, you know, had discussions with Joel Robbins, I turned on what I call the dollar signs, right? I talked to him about our size. We are the largest futures trade room in the world. That's true by numbers in our Discord channel chat. And again, futures is a niche to begin with. It's not like stocks or Forex where there's huge numbers. Still, futures, you got to be pretty intelligent to run with our stuff, because people don't understand contracts in general. They don't understand rollover, etc. So it's a small niche. Anyhow, I had said, well, we're pretty large. Here are our numbers. Here are the people that come. Here are the numbers of people that I can get into a trade copy service. Now, what is a trade copy service? This is where World Cup Advisor makes all of their money off of the World Cup Advisor. Let me show you this. All right, so here on our presentation window, we've got the World Cup Advisor. When you guys are kind of getting a little confused between, you got World Cup Advisor and you got World Cup Competition, or World Cup Championship. Sorry, World Cup Championships. World Cup Advisor is where you can go and do trade copy stuff. You'll see Larry Williams always talked about all the time up on their boards all the time about Larry Williams did 11,000%, yada, yada, yada. He's never had those kind of returns again because he got lucky in 1987, and I'll show you guys how that worked. And it wasn't even specifically, we don't, according to the lawsuits that came against him, it looked like he actually lost money that year. In fact, his own wife says that he didn't make $1 million that year. He actually lost $1 million that year. And so we'll talk about that here in just a moment, and we'll hear some of that from Joel Robbins as well. But World Cup Advisor, this is where you can do the trade copy service. So I told him, look, we can probably bring hundreds of people in trade copy. And so, we had long conversations around that to warm him up and why Joel would be so forthcoming with his conversations with me. And at the same time, it really was inquisitive on my part. I was not trying to be, very deceptive. In some of my things I was semi-deceptive in trying to get to the bottom of this whole ICT thing, and I really didn't think, you know, it was going to be hard for me to get him to crack to talk to me about ICT, but, you know, he eventually did. But I'm just giving full truth and transparency. I am here telling you, like, this is how I approached it, and why he was willing to talk to me for so long is because he saw dollar signs, folks. I could bring him a whole lot of people to do trade copy service. Who wouldn't want to copy my accounts? Okay, who wouldn't want to come and trade, you know, copy my stuff? And again, I still may do it if they allow me to do it at some point. We may create our own trade copy service. And anybody who doesn't think that might be thinking I'm just blowing smoke, I've already done it once before on C2. Okay, the problem, there were, you know, problems with C2. I can't do futures with them because their stuff doesn't work very well. But these guys actually copy it at the broker side level, so it would be possible over here much better than the C2 one. Even though the C2 one did okay, 118% or 128% that we did over on Collective 2 over that 1 year period. So that wasn't too bad of a return. We've already done trade copies before, but basically, sorry, long story short, is this is why, you know, Joel Robbins was willing to talk to me at length, because he wanted my face right here. Okay, right here. He's like, oh, let's have a Vinny Emini picture face right here. Here are my stats, and people being able to copy these and making $250 per month, and it's a split, it's a profit split. So that's where, you know, the background of this, why because people are like, why would Joel Robbins talk to you? Blah, blah, blah. Because I was going to be bringing him a lot. I'll even show you guys part of the video where he's talking about the types of numbers. He's literally telling me, like, look what happens when, you know, somebody's bringing in a few hundred people that literally, you know, that's $1 million a year after split. And he's, you know, very enticing to get people to come over to do the World Cup Advisor. And what does World Cup Advisor have to do with the competition? Well, the competitors who win, okay, the winners, they come over here and now they become World Cup Advisors. Be like, hey, look, one of the winners, like, won, you know, X number of dollars. He won in 2017. This guy won in 2018. And so now you've got this $250 a month at multiple hundreds of people. You know, this can be, you know, $1 million opportunities, more so than people like ICT who can't trade, you know, trade copy service, yada, yada. That's how it went. I just wanted to give full truth and exposure. That may have been totally boring details, but wanted to let you know that's how these conversations went. And that's why, you know, Joel Robbins is here having these conversations and being so forthcoming with all the information that he gave me. And again, I was still genuinely inquisitive, really wanted to know. And who knows, if they allow me at this point after this video and these two videos that I'm putting out, they may not want to have anything to do with me. But again, I'm just here trying to clean up the industry a bit. If you hate me for it, you know, I get it. I understand it. I can take it. All right, let's roll.
As far as the, you know, this new championship we're talking about, I mean, I've got to talk to them and see, hey, can we get the auto liquidation in place?
Oh yeah, let's just, assuming that would happen or whatever. Let's just, well, how about forget the hypothetical? Like, let me just ask in the normal one right now. Like, let's say that I start on January 1st and I were to just go in. Could I run one contract in it? Like, basically, can I open up 4 accounts with you? One for ES, one for NQ, one for RTY, and one for YM. And then if I get on the leaderboard with the ES and the other ones don't, can I still, like, I can still run those with just the, you know what I'm saying? Like, could I run it with NQ on there? Like, it says like Vinny Emini ES, right? And could it say Vinny Emini NQ? And, like, you know, hopefully I get all, you know, all 4 of them up on the leaderboard. But in the event that I don't, will it still be able to only show the, like, the NQ? Because I'm really the best at the NQ, right? So if I smash with the NQ and my RTY and YM, you know, doesn't do as well, but I can get up on the championship board with my NQ account, and the others just aren't going to show because they're below the top 5 type of thing, and I can do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I could open up, even on January 1st, I can open up 4 accounts with you, and I can run those 4 without a problem?
Not a problem.
Oh, well, then let's do that. Shoot. Okay, well, how do I sign up for that?
But you're not, but you're okay, I'll send you the invitation and a related account agreement, but the problem is going to be you're not going to hit the kind of margins you're looking for.
Well, that's okay. I'm just...
Okay, notice you said, and you're not going to get the kind of margins you talked about. Before we got on this piece of the call, and I forgot, this is actually a longer part of the call. This cut at the 36 minutes is a longer call. I actually looked up at the top right, you know, truth and exposure. I had an hour and 6-minute conversation. I pulled this piece of 36 minutes of that call. So he says, yep, we can do 4, but he says you're not going to get the kind of margins. We had extensively talked about, again, I talked about on the previous video of, like, how bad that is that he's going to give you standard margins. Now he says intraday he can give me half, but still that's not anywhere close to the $500 a contract and the $1,000 contract. And I don't want to hear any crap from ICT talking about he's trying to run $300 a contract over there yesterday when he's like, oh, AMP's not letting me do it. He's running the $300 promotional value deal so he can run 10 contract at the $300. This is for people with tiny accounts. So ICT running his little tiny accounts as usual. Again, he doesn't have money, folks. I don't know why you guys keep thinking he's got money. Only money he's ever made is off of mentorship, selling people fraudulent BS. He can't trade, sorry. So anyways, that's what he's talking about in case you were wondering why he's talking about margins here.
Curious, but in the championship, like if I just wanted to win the whole thing, because like I can do multiple things at once, right? My system, I've got full auto, I've got semi-auto, and I can do all of them. I could basically, because as long as I can show that, well, when you open up the one in March, right? Because I can still do the hype around Robbins. Okay, I'm going to win the normal Robbins, but the percentages are going to suck. I got to just be honest with people. Just be like, listen, the margins are where they are. They've always been this way. Just let's deal with it. However, you know, if you guys announce.
Now, remember from the last video, why did I say the percentages were going to suck? The numbers were pretty clear. Okay, so we did the whole, you know, if you made $500 in a day off of $1,000, this is normal, $1,000 a contract versus their $13,000 a contract, and that's at half. That's doing half, and this is for NQ. Half day margins, that's the intraday margins if you don't know what that is. Again, it's maintenance margin, but this is for the intelligent people in the room, not the ICT kids. Go look up what maintenance margin is, etc. So if they're going to give you half maintenance margins for intraday, that sucks. And I'm talking about for the Robbins Cup. This is what Robbins does. This is what Ninja Trader does, or any other discount broker, AMP, etc. Okay, they'll give you very inexpensive per. So this same 50% that you make, 50% over here, okay, it would be only 4% here. That is I mean, these are not even the same ballpark. This isn't even a 10th of what you could normally do in a, what I literally call this 2022 here, you know, normal contract margins. So he's saying that their margins are still going to suck in the Robbins. Again, it's a total time suck and waste to sit there and do a trading competition for an entire year with the most bullshit margins of all time. All right, I've had my piece on that.
That in March or April, you're going to do the intraday margin one, a separate one. Then I can be like, look, you guys want to really see what we can do. Let's do this. And then I also help to hype up the Robbins, you know, around, hey, they're doing normal intraday margins now and they're quarterly. So you don't have to, like, you know, because a lot of people are like, oh my word, like I would do the Robbins, but man, all year, you know, it sounds exhausting. Like even for myself, I'm like, oh, all year to trade one contract. Like, you know what I'm saying? It works fine if you're doing trade copy services like most of these guys are, that's fine. But when you're talking about just going out there and you just want to, I mean, being honest, a lot of us want to just go out there and go balls out, right? But it brings the attention. And then if that person who's balls out is crushing it, but then also wants to on the side come back and go, hey, by the way, I also do a trade copy service through World Cup Advisor, then that's a synergy that works for everybody and you're showing bigger numbers. I think that's a good idea, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you should do all three.
I'm doing it. I'm in, bro. You sold me on it. If I can run, because now that means, yeah.
So here's the thing. I'll send you the invite for 2022, which starts January 1.
Perfect.
In addition to that, if you want, starting whenever, we can do this as a thing as another related account.
Okay, got it.
As NASDAQ leader.
Yes, I will do that. I will definitely do that separate. Yes.
And then in the meantime, I will get to work with Sonex, and there's two. Let me ask you this: how comfortable? I know I already know the answer. It wouldn't fly. If you had to trade a $2,500 account that was a leader account with $500 margins and a $250 subscription fee, it won't work.
Right, I understand that. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I never asked for that.
Okay. Yeah,
we're on the same page, bro.
I was just thinking, if you know, people have to understand that, and this was true even with Larry, you know, back in '87, right?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so I forgot it's getting juicy right here already, and I had this queued marked up. I'm just gonna let it go here, and he brings up Larry Williams. Did y'all see that? I mean, the good Lord knows what he's doing, okay? He brought me the gift. I was eventually going to bring this up to him, but he laid out the gift, and I kind of just play, okay, well, talk to me about that. Talk to me about that. You notice he brought up, he literally said 1987 Larry Williams, okay? Here we go. Let's go.
You know, he tells the story, and his wife tells the story that he lost $1 million.
I'm sorry, what was that? Did you say, according to, he tells the story, and then he says, well, the wife tells the story that he actually lost $1 million in 1987. I wonder who's telling the truth on that one. Well, we're about to show the history of Larry Williams here in just a little bit of like, oh, I mean, that guy, he is not afraid to break rules. Let's just put it like that. And I'm not talking about trading rules. We're talking about tax evasions. We're talking about skipping countries. We're talking about falsifying documents. It's crazy stuff. We're not talking about just normal documents. Literally writing letters to Saudi princes to get him to let him to go places. Crazy stuff. It's amazing stories. I mean, Larry Williams has led a very interesting life, kind of like ICT, but you can't believe everything they're saying, if you know what I mean. All right, so y'all heard that. Now let me pause some of this music. Let's kill the music here. Listen, Joel Robbins just revealed that Larry Williams' wife at the time said he lost $1 million that year, even though they claimed that he won $1 million per year. Y'all hear this story? Let's go.
But that year, I don't know if you know the whole deal.
What? No.
Yeah.
We're on the same page, bro.
Let's play it again.
I was just thinking, if you know, people have to understand that, and this was true even with Larry, you know, back in '87, right?
Sure.
He tells the story. I mean, his wife tells the story that he lost $1 million that year. I don't know if you know the whole deal.
What? No.
He had a $10,000 account that he ran up to $2.3 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay. In the October, and he was somewhere looking for Noah's Ark. God knows where.
Okay, now, when he said this to me, I didn't know anything about the Noah's Ark thing. Now, anybody who's done any homework on Larry Williams, y'all might already know this. This is just a clip from the movie. Y'all can actually, I think it's on Netflix. The Search for the Real Mount Sinai, Larry Williams. Crazy stories, but they literally falsified documents to get in to go and do the research. He was traveling with someone else. He was not a Christian at the time. He was traveling with a Christian. It's a very fascinating story. I might want to go check this out. But he's much better at searching for mountains and things than he is trading. All right, let's just put it that way. So, my opinion. So, yeah, so there it is. More further confirmation. And that Robbins knows, right? They know the history of this guy, as I've told you before. But did y'all hear that? Okay, he's searching for Noah's Ark. Let that sink in. Okay. Again, I applaud the exploration. I would love to do that myself. Okay. But in the same year, 1987. Okay. Now, maybe this was, you know what? Maybe this was God's approval. I've got this theory. Okay. Maybe this was God's approval of Larry Williams going out there. He's like, you're going to go search for me? Diligently seek me. Those who seek me, he says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Y'all think about that? Those of you Bible scholars who know that passage, I mean, it's pretty popular, so a lot of people probably know that one. So seek first. So he's seeking to find Noah's Ark, right? And God blesses him with, I mean, pure luck of 1987 crash, and he gives him dollars. Isn't that fascinating? And I've told you guys this before too. Like, my search for the Lord led me to my capacity for receiving. By giving. It's crazy, my background story. I'll give you guys have probably heard it, or maybe you haven't. We'll reiterate it at some point. Crazy. But watch this. 1987, gets lucky, but he literally says he makes all that money while he's off on some sabbatical, traveling across the deserts in search of Mount Sinai. Does that sound like he was actively trading this, folks? Again, folks, the 1987 thing of the 11,000% thing was luck. Okay. You guys have always asked, why are you bad mouthing him? But you just bad mouth everybody. I'm just telling you the truth about this industry, and it's very, very shady. All right, here we go.
He was a systematic trader, so he had his assistant on this is way before electronic trading.
Yeah, 87. They didn't even have all the cool bells and whistles like we got now. Yeah.
Yeah. Call the order desk, place the orders, and so this was the day of the crash in '87. He was long treasury bonds and short S&Ps.
So the perfect trade.
So
All right, so did you hear the two positions? Again, two positions running. Long one, short one. Are y'all catching on to this, what I'm trying to tell you? That, folks, I would like to trade a legitimate competition with individuals who want to trade legit, not getting lucky by being both directions on positions and hoping that both of them at least slightly go up where you're against each other. And then you get a flash crash in 1987. Y'all, you're going to hear this whole thing. And they really would have gotten borked if Joel Robbins hadn't stepped in and saved their ass. Y'all are going to hear it right here.
What happened is he got stopped out of the S&Ps, and the bonds, the bonds broke, and he had a stop and reverse system, and he went short 2 ticks off the low.
He had a stop and reverse system. Do y'all know what that is? Again, I can't teach the whole lessons here tonight. You all might want to go research that. Okay. Basically, luckiest bullshit of all time in a scenario like this. Here we go. Watch this.
2 ticks off the low.
Wow.
The next morning, the bonds were up 8 handles.
Wow.
$8,000. Okay. I was thank God I had a cell phone. I was driving down to my office, and I had to get the customers out. There were short treasury bonds, right?
Oh,
and
shoot.
It was limit bid 8 handles above.
Oh, shit.
And I got on the phone with the cash desk at Statler and Company, and they said, you know, the market in the UK is 8 handles lower. I said,
y'all understand that? This is actually, you know, this goes back to Tom Dante's stories. You know, if you guys have heard Tom Dante tell his stories from the past of the traders who used to be able to get lucky because of arbitrage. Not really lucky, but they would abuse the system of different exchanges being on different things. What he just said there, again, this is going to be way over the ICT kids' heads. Like, I don't know why the dumbest people on the planet follow ICT, because he can only defraud stupid people, honestly. The intelligent people can tell ICT is a fraud, but again, for the stupid people in the room, I'm going to be talking way over your head here. So this arbitrage situation, the UK desk is off by 8 handles. Okay. So you got the UK servers over here. And now, again, I'm very good explaining things, unlike ICT, who's going to make this sound like it's complicated, right? So, again, everything was done by phone and stuff. So they basically arbitrage here. And you can go look up what arbitrage is. And guess who did it for him? Did Larry Williams pull this off? Was Larry Williams the brilliant mind who decided let's do arbitrage? No, he got saved by Larry Williams, which is, again, why all this stuff, when y'all go and look up the history of this, and why would they be interested in doing this? Because, again, the Robbins has made a lot of money off of the name of Larry Williams and all this other kind of shit. Again, it's follow the money, folks, at the end of the day. And sometimes, you know, people, they start telling the truth. And here's the truth, folks. This is Veritas Trading, and I don't mean the Veritas Trading Group, because there's actually a Veritas Trading Group, but I'm talking about, you know, Veritas goes out there and finds out the truth about stuff. And again, I'm just here to give you the truth, even if it's nasty. People are going to hate me for it. I'm here to bring the truth. Let's go.
Do me as many as you can right now.
Yeah.
Arbitrage. It was an $8,000 per contract arbitrage, and Larry had hundreds of them on.
8,000 per contract times hundreds of contracts. $800,000 right there. And again, he said as many as you can, right? So they also made money on this arbitrage. This was not Larry Williams making this happen. Anyway, look, folks, the whole Larry Williams thing and Robbins Cup at that time in 1987, it was, you know, you hear the story here. It's amazing. It's magical. Okay. Maybe because he was, you know, God giving him, you know, intervention. I mean, the fact that Joel is on the phone, having a phone in 1987, probably the only guy around, not the only guy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when I hear these stories, I'm sitting here, I'm like, this is like miracles. If you don't believe in God, okay, and you got Larry Williams out here looking for Mount Sinai and what Noah's Ark, all right, and then all of a sudden somebody saves his ass, you know, millions, and actually makes him money so that he comes out a rock star when he's out there chasing God. And what does he do? He makes money. And then for the rest of his life, he's able to keep referring back to that. Oh, that one time back in 1987, remember when I did that thing? Yeah, I'm so good at trading. Yet he's literally climbing a mountain and this happens. Like, he got lucky. I'm going to call it, he got blessed. And thanks to Joel Robbins, who saved his ass on an arbitrage situation. This These are the facts, folks. Don't get mad at me. Let's go.
So his he had customers following him at the time. It was a horror story. Had he not been stopped short, 2-ticks, customers would have made, I don't know, I forgot how, $10 million or something like that. It was like, it would have been a game changer.
Oh shit.
Long story short, I had to take care of the customers, so his account never. I couldn't help him out because there wasn't enough stuff.
Right.
So he.
All right, so basically, yeah, Larry Williams got screwed. He lost, but all of a sudden they're going to make it look like all his customers made it, which is why the NFA sued him. This is the background story. I don't know how long I'm going to make this video because we're already at 34 minutes. Anyhow, hopefully you guys find this as intriguing as I do, but let's carry on.
He ends up losing 8,000. He probably had 100 contracts at the time, so he lost 800,000 plus just on that one trade.
Ouch.
And we had already, so this is like the end of October, right? We'd already, things weren't online then. It was like, okay, I had already produced an ad that said portrait of a winner, took $10,000 up to over $1 million.
Right.
I figured in October, I knew I had a cushion. It was at 2.4 million, right?
Right.
The account went down to I had page 3 of Futures Magazine bought. The account went down to 900,000.
Okay, the Futures Magazine is a big piece of this puzzle. If you guys go look and study the history on Britannica and others, they talk about how they were the Robbins Cup was taking out full page ads about Larry Williams' success that year, and why could they make such big moves in that 1987 area? Well, let me show you guys that. All right, so I would encourage you guys who are kind of market historians, you want to kind of know the histories of the markets and things, you want to know about Black Monday, 1987. Again, when the markets are moving, this is when, traders can make big money, and of course, some people can just get lucky on this. So you got the 1987, lots of people came away, made huge sums of money if you basically took advantage of that drop. This was the notorious Monday. Again, it was there was more drop than this, but on that Monday, Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 22.6%. Now, also things like this really can't happen in today's markets. They've got, they've put things in place because of crashes like these, and this is one of those years where he did it. Larry Williams took advantage of it. Basically got lucky on that stuff. What percentage of market drop in 1987? 22.6% on that day. What caused it? Markets theorized by crash was driven simply by a strong bull market that was overdue for a major correction. 1987 marked the 5th year of a major bull market that experienced 6 major corrective, but it just boom happened all in one day. And anyway, maybe let Larry Williams tell you guys about it. At the same time, I don't know that you can trust anything the guy says. And why would the NFA be suing them if everything was all on the up and up? And again, I get it. I'm not the guy to be like, oh, well, just because somebody sues doesn't mean they're right. Okay, there could be something. I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying that as far as skill sets, I would not be wanting to learn from Larry Williams. He didn't even do the air arbitrage, and that's not the style of trading you can do today. So everybody who's wasting their time and money on Larry Williams or ICT concepts, it's just a waste of time. That's my opinion. Here we go.
I'm going to jail.
Oh shit.
Now, why would he be saying he's going to jail? Look, again, he's saying it off the cuff, saying it in jest and whatnot, but, he's being open and transparent with me because, I've established this trust relationship, and I know this is basically how Veritas does it too. I mean, it feels kind of dirty. Okay, I feel dirty that I've gone in here, I've got this information, but it's the truth. And yes, I was digging for dirt. I found dirt. All right. I don't know. Anyway, there it is. Let's play that again. Let's just go. Let's go.
Cushion was at 2.4 million, right?
Right.
The account went down to I had page 3 of Futures Magazine bought. The account went down to 900,000.
Also, the reason he had to do it because he's trying to save his own company's ass. He's gone out there and he's made this announcement, put it out in the again, didn't have the internet, so to be able to have an ad put into a magazine, which is primary means of communication back in the day. He had to pull out full page ads on this stuff and whatnot, and they'd already advertised all these things that had been done. And, they're going to be, oh, yay, we got lucky on that 1987. Phew, one of our traders, everybody else got blown out. But, oh, Larry Williams is on the right side of a trade, probably divinely by God. If he's not a Christian today, another shout out to Larry Williams. Hey, bro, check into it. God was looking after you, even if you didn't think about it. You don't believe in God, bro. you should, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't, like, I'm pretty sure, like, when you die and you get there and he's like, dude, I gave you so many chances and this is how you dealt with it. I'm just saying, bro, you might want to shore that thing up. And you know, let's say the prayer today. If you want to know what prayer that is, I got a video on that for you. But carry on for another day. Hope you're doing well, sir. But hey, like, let's just tell the truth. Let's go.
I'm going to jail.
Oh shit. Oh, because yeah, you had already posted out, and then also, it was like the next month he blew out, basically.
No, next month he made it all back. He picked up 200,000-300,000.
Oh, okay.
Got back to $1 million too.
Yeah, that year things were crazy. That year the volatility was insane.
You wanted, you know, it was only 500 points, but where was the market back then?
Oh, I don't know. Tell me.
So he said it's only 500 points, which in today's numbers, maybe that doesn't sound like much because of how high the market is, but that's why he asked there and he gave the pause. He's kind of testing me and I wasn't sharp on it. And I realized later after I listened back to it, I was like, oh, because he's saying that the markets used to be so low, right? So the markets have been trucking up like this, you know, for forever. Oh, markets always, you know, always go long, right? So back here at 1987, like, let's say it's at 1,000, right? You know, now we're up here at, you know, 12,000 something, right? So, but 1,000, if we drop 500 points, that could be like 50%. Again, these are not real numbers, folks. I'm just exaggerating to make the point. 500 points here was way more from a percentage basis than it was if we had a 500 point drop. Now, yeah, that's what he was trying to say. There we go. Carry on.
I don't remember, but 500 points was a big percentage of the Dow.
Yeah, and the bonds particularly. Well, bonds is worth $32.50 a tick too. So in the futures, that's massive from a numbers perspective.
Right. So I'm talking about it was an $800,000 move for the customers.
How about that?
And for him. Customers might have more money on than because that's when he was doing his managed accounts too. So we had like $5-6 million in under management with him.
Yeah.
And it would have been close to 20 million had he not been stepped back to the bonds.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's too bad. That would have been a game changer. But whatever. So let's review where we're at.
Okay.
Enough nostalgia here.
Yeah, I love nostalgia, man.
I'm going to get you 4 entry agreements. Actually, you can just print them 4 times. I'm going to attach what we call a related account agreement.
Okay.
So that's going to give you then we just have to open one set of paperwork, and then we can open 5 accounts actually.
All right, so there he goes on, and again, confirmed. The main one that we wanted to confirm with that one, although we got a little piece of Larry Williams in there as well, so I can scratch that one off the list. We're pretty far into the conversation here tonight, but team trading is allowed. He said that I could trade 5 accounts in, you know, I can go different directions. However I wanted to run and manage those. I can come in multiple times throughout the year. Again, some of my complaints as to why I think that this could be defrauded. And I do not trust ICT. You guys are stupid to believe anything ICT says. And this is why it is an illegitimate competition. And again, the only reason I would take ICT up in this is if he did the 3 million. People keep asking, why does he have to put up 3 million for the escrow? Let's talk about that briefly. Again, so I can make quite a lot, and I'm not going to say specific numbers like what I could do, because then people are like, oh, he says he makes this, and then if I don't make that or whatever, the commit to whatever. But I'm not going to make a whole lot off of one contract. Everybody get that, right? If I'm normally going to be trading upwards, 16 contracts is my average, right? The difference between this and this is going to be huge numbers, despite, however, you know, each year is different. I go back and I talk about what was that super slow year? Was it 2016? I believe it was 2016. So slow. Like that year, I literally only made like 60K that year. It was like so hard to make money in 2016. The markets were not doing anything. They were not moving hardly at all. That was a very tough year, right? And then you've got other years, like it's plus 300K, it's plus 600K in single years. It's different each year, right? But if I had to trade one contract, when my average size is this, my max size for me that I'm comfortable trading is 40 contracts. Again, at some point I was slinging 80s back when I was doing ES. When you guys probably first saw my videos, I think there was maybe once or twice where I'm in an 80 contract trade on the ES back in 2016 or 2017 with my futures account. This is what I'm normally doing. And in the Robbins type of scenario for the same numbers, you're doing one contract. It's crazy to do this. So the point of this is you got to make it worth my while. So if you're going to put $3 million on the table, that I can also, again, I said I would give it to charity, right? I'm like, okay, well, I'll do this for charity. I'm down with this, right? And then on top of that, yes, you know, the kudos of all that kind of whatnot. Fine. So you make it worth my while. So ICT, I'll say it again. You're going to put the $3 million into escrow. Let's go. I told you to make it 5. I'll match it. Let's go. Well, you can put it in the escrow. Let's go. But unless I'm actually trading for this money, I'm not going out here to hop through hoops with this craziness and having to deal with all this, and to know that ICT, if he is going to get into it, that he can go through all kinds of efforts to save his $3 million. Like, what would you do for $3 million? You're going to tell me that if the Robbins is going to allow you to do this little cheat bullshit, that you're not going to do it? ICT is definitely going to do it. Get out of here. That guy has no moral compass whatsoever. He's already said it before. He can do anything on earth as long as he doesn't blaspheme the Holy Spirit. That is what he teaches his sons. That kind of person you're going to trust to be like, oh, he would never do that. He would never do. Really? Get out of here. Well, I don't trust it. And unless I can sit there behind him and see it myself, and he won't live stream it. So you know it ain't happening. Or, you know, if he wants to live stream the whole thing, fine, but he ain't going to live stream it. He won't do it. He never has, never will. Because again, the guy cannot trade. I don't know why you guys keep talking about he's the best. He's the best. What proof do you have that he's the best? Where is the proof? Put up or shut up. All right. What are the things we're going to cover here? So we covered that. Larry Williams. I think we kind of just covered that. So let's talk about like the Michelle Williams thing. So Michelle Williams won in, I don't know, it's 1997. I can't remember a year. Don't count me on this, but I feel like there was a 7 in it. Pretty sure it was 1997, but doesn't matter. Whatever the year was, maybe it was 2007. Whatever year. Michelle Williams, the actress. Now, I always thought this guy's lived a very interesting life. And I do think that the good Lord above has some kind of hand on the Larry Williams guy. Maybe it's because he went out there to go see the Ark. I don't know. Maybe his Christian friend who prayed for him. I don't know what blessing he's got, but he's got something. All right. Larry Williams, I mean, you probably hate me at this point, but dude, I'd shake your hand and maybe you can like rub some oil from your brow off on me again. I don't know. I'm kidding, everybody, but I'm just saying. So his connections with, this is a full, you know, Hollywood, I don't want to say Hollywood, but you know what I'm saying, a full production video thing of him, the search for the real Mount Sinai. Whatever his connections are with production, whatnot, gets his daughter, you know, beautiful daughter, you know, hooked up into Hollywood and things. The scripture says about Job, that he blessed him with beautiful daughters. Okay, so he's blessed with beautiful daughters. The guy's going out there, Mount Sinai, is blessed with people like going out there and arbitraging for him to set him up with the ability to make money the rest of his life. What does he do with it? Well, you guys heard of his tax evasion schemes, but let's go back and real quick. If you watch this video on Amazon, you'll hear that Larry Williams had to forge documents. So he's a forger. He had no problem literally forging a very lengthy and specific letter to allow him into the country, written from like a Saudi prince that said that he is allowed to come into the country because you can't even go up here to Mount Sinai. That's why it's such a big deal to go and try to go onto Mount Sinai to find Noah's Ark. Was, you know, you had to get into the country, literally had to forge documents to get in. He's like, no problem, forgery, I'm good. You know, his Christian friends probably sitting there like, oh no, Jesus wouldn't like this. But Larry's like, I'm not a Christian. Let's go. Okay. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. I'm having a little fun. Y'all trying to take me too seriously with the jokes. But yes, he's out there doing that. Got Michelle Williams, and supposedly Michelle Williams wins the Robbins Cup. Come on, bro. Not believing it. After what I heard from Larry Williams, that they're so flexy that they'll just basically let you do whatever. He can go in there and be like, yeah, I know I blew out that one account, but my daughter wanted to sign up. No, she went. Yeah, Michelle Williams. Yeah. Here's her details. Whatnot. Well, we got from Michelle Williams that, she didn't even really trade. That it was like an all automated thing. So again, he's putting the trading system in his daughter's name. And while they may say it's automated, again, what the automation is that flip and reverse that Joel Robbins was talking about. Okay, so basically means stop and reverse. Okay, so you got if this is your stop and price is coming down, we hit boom, then that means reverse. So if you're long, okay, and you get stopped out, boom, he wants you to go short. So he's basically always like, well, if I'm wrong, you know, it's probably going to be big wrong. That's the whole idea behind this strategy. So now he gets short. Okay, that's what a stop and reverse is. So it basically, and by the way, if you do two correlated markets, yeah, man, this is, I could get into some crazy theory. I'm just gonna give you the short version of it real fast. Hopefully I can do this. So you got two correlated markets that are usually working like this, okay? But all of a sudden, one day, instead of one going up, it kind of starts to go like this, and these two deviate, right? So now you initiate a position on this one, long, and this one, short, until they come into each other, and then it's stop and reverse to keep these things going, which is why when you run these, that you kind of get an equity curve that looks semi like whatever the instrument or the market is. And if they are more long than they are short, in general, again, there's a guy who actually specifically does this study on this whole, you know, basically doing this semi arbitrage, but between two markets, the correlation strategy that works on full auto, because yeah, it's just like, well, as long as the markets do their thing, you know, and you're trying to pull percentages off of this. A lot of, I don't say a lot of, but particular famous individuals in the full auto algo stuff that I have studied, they run these types of strategies. So Larry Williams is maybe doing one of these. I don't know for absolute sure, but when I hear, you know, Joel talk about it, and he's talking about that stop and reverse, well, the way that you would do that, you wouldn't just do that on a single instrument market. You would do that on correlations, and you do it over multiple markets. So I would like to know, here's my question, Larry, like how many other accounts was he running in 1987? I mean, I got questions around all that, but my whole point is would I get into a competition, somebody who's going to tell me they want to get into the Robbins where you can cheat and shit like all that, and you don't know what accounts are going bad, and he's like, no. Here, I'm going to go ahead and address this right away with the account thing. Okay, you're going to tell me, there's my account number, folks. I'm not dealing with your video editing, photoshopping, account number bullshitting. And now that I've already, like, basically, I mean, I'm sure after these videos, I've burnt my bridge with Joel Robbins. He's not going to come out here. I don't have access to go and ask Joel, all right, hey, can you go confirm how many accounts was he running? Was this a really account? You know, I doubt after this that they're going to ever want to talk to me or even let me near the Robbins. Another thing about the Robbins, why ICT wants me to get into the Robbins, I almost forgot about this whole thing. Sure, I can go over here and I've got my, I can have my NinjaTrader. This is what people keep saying. Well, Vinny, you can just run your NinjaTrader over here and then have their broker thing over here where you got to press their buttons and everything else. Again, my system, y'all don't understand what my system does. It's amazing. I have a full little quarter panel of buttons up here that do all kinds of cool ATM stuff for me, right? This is how I enter and exit things, and mine automatically puts stops and targets and everything here for me in between. These systems don't do that. Again, he's like, just hit the buy or sell button over here. This is nothing. This is why our system is superior to all other systems that are out there. We are running automatic ATMs here automatically for us. Y'all don't understand. So my buttons are different and I cannot connect to the Robbins. So here's the thing. NinjaTrader does not allow connectivity to outside brokers. Do you understand what I just said? So ICT knows this. I've talked to him about this. I even texted him before he blocked me. The guy is such a thin-skinned little bitch. He's out there. He's blocked me right now on text, so I can't even have a personal communication with the guy. And he wants me to get into a competition with him. Zero respect given, and I'm not going to give you any respect back. You can't even pick up my calls. You won't even answer texts. You are a fucking pussy. And then you go around, you turn around and tell people that I'm trying to call your daughter, that I'm calling minors. You are a fraud and a punk, and you caused all those people to come out and attack my family. I do not feel sorry for you at all, in the slightest. Joel Robbins, I mean, I kind of feel bad for you that you're getting, I mean, I'm basically tossing you under the bus here today, and like, but hopefully you know, change this stuff or come out and address it. Like, you know, how do you guys prevent this kind of bullshit fraud? And how do I know that Larry Williams is legit? I mean, y'all are financially monetized with him. I don't know. I think there's some shady shit going on there. It's my personal opinion. So ICT knows I cannot connect to the Robbins with NinjaTrader. So I would have to use some of their stupid platforms. So I'm gonna have to do my charting. They're like, well, Vinny, do your charting over here. When you see a headshot, you know, click the buttons over here. Folks, there's delays and data feeds that can happen on occasions, and I'm not just blaming it on just that. It's probably not gonna be the case to occur. But you know, even my system, my PC is now having to run two separate things, and y'all think that that's nothing either. Well, for our system, when I'm running multiple instruments, and not simultaneously like we were talking about earlier, like different directions, but we're talking about when I'm looking for setups on 4 different instruments, and I am agnostic to them because all we care about are the setups. That's how our strategy works. It can't be farting around with this. And I've literally expressed this. I said, dude, any other kind of competition, come any other way. We can validate through a third party. We can have anybody, a trusted confidant, have Tom Dante look at both of our accounts before and after. Let's showcase this to the world. So if you really want to do this legit, and he won't. He literally will not do it. ICT is a fucking fraud. The only thing he wants to do, nope, it's got to be Robbins. It's got to be Robbins. Yeah, so that you can cheat, because you cannot beat me or anybody else, quite frankly. I think anybody else, any of these other guys who have like kind of called him out before, whatever, you know, and this stuff about getting on the leaderboard, let's talk about that too. Another hopping through hoops. He's like, you get on the leaderboard. So let's talk about that. So that's not a competition between ICT and me, okay? And we'll just go anybody versus anybody, me or anyone else. He's like, oh, nobody wants to come and step to me. First of all, you can. The Robbins is a fucking fraud. You're going to go out there and fraud. And then he says, you go compete with everybody else. And if you can beat everybody else, then you get to get me, right? And I know his logic. He's like, well, that's because I'm the best. Dude, you are not. You are nothing. You've never won a trading competition. The only person who's won a trading competition is me. Vinny fucking Emini. You come and beat me. So we flip the script here, ICT. You get on the fucking leaderboard, dumbass. You say it's so easy. Get on the leaderboard, and I'll come out there and I'll smoke you 5x. I'll go deal with the multi-computer. I will set up 2 separate computers so that I can, on one machine, I've got my algo box over here, and you want me to press the buttons over there on the Robbins bullshit because you won't let me get into a competition where I do that. That's fine. Then you go out there and you go beat everybody else, supposedly, right? Or all around the world, from all the people who get into the Robbins Cup. Right? And mind you, those are guys who are just trying to prove themselves. They're all YOLO trading it so that they can be like Larry Williams and sell a service. Every single person. Let me repeat for you folks. Let me show you guys. Here we go. We are on World Cup Advisor. Every single person who wins, you get advertised like this. You want to come over here and set up a trade copy service, and they love these subscription fees. This $250, $300 a month thing. This is where they make their serious major bread and butter here. Come over here, jump in with one of these guys. So these guys are YOLO trading it, every single one of these guys. So you're talking about getting into a competition with everybody else. And this is why ICT wants people to hop through it first, because he doesn't think, he's like buying himself time, putting the pressure on you along with everybody else to be like, nope, you got to go out here and beat everybody else who's doing the trading competition, all the others who want to be World Cup advisors and do a trade copy service and all that kind of whatnot. You got to go out there and get on the leaderboard, and then I'll go out there. And then that also gives him an excuse, because, dude, everybody knows I can fucking easily beat his ass, right? But then he's going to be like, oh, you know, you're out there and it takes me 3 months to get on the leaderboard, because also, talk with Joe Robbins, he said they don't even show the first results until 3 months in. So out of 3 months out of the year already, out of 12, so that means you're left with only 9 months of the competition, right? And he's like, oh, well, I gave him a head start. Or that's what everybody thinks. Like, well, if he hadn't got a head start, if ICT had started at the same time, he would have beat Vinny. Dude, I'm not hearing the bullshit excuses. I'm not dealing with the shit. We are either once and for all. Once and fucking for all. You go at the beginning of a competition to the end. And I will hand you some other competition. Here is a different competition that doesn't have any of that bullshit. Let me show you this one. I mean, ICT's out there acting like there are no other competitions out there. Financial-competitions.com. There's your rules and stuff. You can sign up for competitions, but this one you got to pay to get in, and they require a $20,000 minimum for it, which is, yeah, it's great. There's all kinds of things. This is not the only one, but these guys at least let you, again, I could trade with this one with Ninja Trader, and I asked ICT, can we do any other one? He's like, no, it's got to be the Robbins. He is so hung up on the Robbins, and I've already showed you guys why. There are other competitions out there. We could have a third party verify it. We could do it on Collective 2. Again, actually, I don't want to do Collective 2. You can't connect properly with them. With Ninja Trader, it's still an issue. With it for futures, Forex, it was fine. Futures, not going to do that. So sorry, I brought that one up again. But yeah, there's so many other ways to have somebody else, third party, to verify that we're logging into the accounts, looking at the broker statements, all that kind of good stuff. There's so many other ways. This is a fraudulent way. I'm not interested. Even Larry Williams, I'm sorry, bro, can't trust it. Another couple things. I hate to ding on Larry while we're here, but you know, we got one more thing to let you know about. There are just certain types of people that you're not going to trust. Look, the Williams thing. Okay, here's Larry Williams. Was charged with income tax evasion fraud, multiple bank accounts, really bad stuff. Here you go. This is on npr.org. You guys go check out this link here. They talk about a tax protester takes extreme action to avoid paying. See down here, each year thousands of people don't pay taxes they owe. They claim all kinds of reasons, from penury to protest to planet Money team brings us the story of Larry Williams, who decided he just shouldn't have to pay his tax anymore. A really fascinating story. Again, like I said, Larry Williams is a very fascinating character. I think we get along. We'd have a good time chatting it up. But as far as when I get in a trading competition with the guy who's, cheated everything else, whether it was taxes or getting into a country, falsifying documents or people doing arbitrage for him and claiming for years to come that you made 11,000% and you didn't claim it by luck, that, oh, you've got skills, so, come follow me. I'll teach you how to do it. Get out of here. Sorry, man. And again, also anybody who can use their daughter, you use your 17-year-old daughter, like, pretty sure at age 17, I don't know. I thought that the accounts that you had to be 18. So what, you opened a custodial account for her and you claim that again, this is like somebody who's willing to use their family members to, push their own agenda and continue to like make yourself look like you're good because you taught your 17-year-old daughter how to trade. Is that the whole thing? I'm just going with no. And again, she specifically said that she didn't trade it. Look, maybe you traded it, bro, but the whole point is where's the other accounts? Again, I still think this is just the deal. You run one account up, one account down, and the Robbins is the only trading competition that lets you do that. And my challenge to Larry Williams, like, go out there and win a different trading competition. Win this one, bro. All right, go out here and win. Here you go, financial-competitions.com. Okay, bro, go win another one. All right, one that's not Robbins. How about a non-Robbins competition where you have to pay per account to get in, right? And who is going to tell people about it. Dr. Norman here, Norm, will tell what's up. Okay, you can actually email the guy and he'll talk. So as far as this goes, I don't believe anything coming out of the Robbins. I'm sorry. It's just I was left with a very bad taste in my mouth, knowing that you could do all this stuff. And this is from a guy who has done trading competitions, and I don't shy away from any of them. I beat Macro Hedge, legit. I beat Ross Cameron, legit. Michael Oates to a million. ICT backing down all the time. Talk. That's all he does. All right, I'm gonna try to cut this video short. This is part 2. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, as I did want this to be the end all be all. Anybody who is asking about the Robbins, continuing to ask me about why I'm not interested in the Robbins, particularly like it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, you can't trade normal size. Again, from a person who is actually a real trader, not from ICT, who literally just apparently first day on the job he's ever tried to trade with a real live account and he just can't figure it out. Like all of a sudden yesterday he's trading AMP for the first time. He's like, oh no, they're trying to stop me. He thinks he's trading against his broker. I still laugh to this day. ICT, who claims that he's traded for 30 years, believes that he's trading against the broker. He doesn't know how order matching works. He doesn't know how the tape works. He doesn't know how the industry works at all. And yet he claims that he's the algo, or that he wrote the algo. Folks, y'all are being lied to and conned. The reason he tells these big fish stories, it only works on low IQ people. So people, if you want to stop being low IQ, you got to ditch ICT. Otherwise, it's on you. I'm out. I tried to help. It's on you.